All right. Welcome back, everybody. We're here for week one of the NFL season. We're here for Talk of Shame. Notice we are here without our leader of men, our host, our bad gambler. Timothy Triplet is on the editing side this time around. I am Gabriel Costa. I will be leading this year. But my co-host here, Blake Profio. If you guys already went ahead and watched, we already gave out some preseason future bets. Tim was there for that. He said he will be hopping on from time to time. If you guys watched last year, you know that it's probably the best that he might take a back seat for a little bit. Yeah, NFL season week one. Everyone's hyped about this. Everyone's giddy, I would say. Without further ado, we're both going to go ahead and give 3 picks. We're going to go ahead and give 1 game pick, 1 player prop, and then 1 wild card. It could be a game pick or player prop, whatever we really feel is best for us this week. Blake, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. We can what do you want to do? You want to alternate?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. All right, so first pick I got, as you guys probably could have guessed it, it's a Steelers pick. I got Kenny Pickett over 207.5 pass yards at -114 on FanDuel. And so first off, Kenny's preseason was pretty unreal. He went 14 of 15 for 199 yards, and I think they scored on every single drive that he was behind center. So yeah, he had a hot preseason. He's got a ton of great supporting characters around him. You got DJ, Pickens, Muth, you name it. And then another thing that plays into this is I know he just signed a huge contract, but Nick Bosa missed all of training camp, and I saw a stat earlier that said when Nick Bosa was off the field, the 49ers had the worst pass rush rate in the league. They were dead bottom. So I think Nick Bosa is going to miss a lot of time during this game. I think he might just be in on like specialty downs and third down. So I think that gives Kenny Pickett a lot of time to operate back in the pocket. And I think he might tear up the defense part a little bit. So that's my first pick.
Yeah, I like that pick, Blake. Not only because I'm a Steelers fan, but I think I question how much Nick Bosa is going to play.
Right.
I'll talk about that game later on and for one of my picks as well. But I see that being a low scoring game. I think that's going to be a good one. Since you went ahead and led off with your player prop, I will go ahead and lead off with mine. And I was in the lab for this one pretty deep last night. I was looking into this one around for like 30-ish minutes, just trying to get my data together because I was looking at all the stats and all the times that they've played each other. I'm going to Trevor Lawrence, which I know I've talked about the Jags in my preseason future picks about high expectations for the Jags this year, but I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence under 257.5 passing yards versus the
Oh,
Colts
wow.
in week one. I know. Well, hear me out. I've got some really good stats to back this up. To start, I think the Jags are going to have a great season. I think Trevor will have all the time to throw the ball. I just don't think it's going to be happening in this game. To start, it's a divisional game against a division rival. I've been seeing a lot of things that like when you play a division rival, especially in week one, the underdog, they keep it close almost every single time.
Right.
And I think this game's going to go one of two ways. I think it's going to be a Jags blowout, which would be great, or a low scoring slugfest. Trevor Lawrence is under this line of 257.5 in every single game he's played against the Colts, 4-4. The
Mm-hmm.
closest Trevor Lawrence has ever gotten to this mark was 235 versus the Colts in a 24-0 blowout win last year. That's still like 24 yards under. That was back in week 2 of last year. And Trevor Lawrence's, I know you can throw out the Urban Meyer year and all that with all the wonkiness there, but his career average is 241. Again, average is below the line that I'm picking here. And his career average versus the Colts in his 4 games is 196 yards, significantly way lower.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that they're going to need him to throw that much in this game. And Blake, you can back me up on this pick. You remember the playoff game last year, Jags Chargers. Chargers blew a 27-7 lead at halftime.
Yep.
Remember, Jags were throwing the entire game.
Hmm.
How many passing yards do you think Trevor Lawrence had in that game? Take a guess.
I'm gonna guess like 320
288.
in that huge comeback. Just what would you say, 280?
Yeah, it was 288, which the Jags were starting down bad. I don't know if anyone who watched that game, they were down like 14-0 within like minutes. So they had to do
Yeah.
nothing but throw the ball that entire game. Trevor Lawrence threw 4 touchdowns, 4 picks in that game. But that being said, even when he's doing nothing but throwing the ball, he's only breaking that line by 30 yards. And I just don't see him needing to throw the ball that much. I think they're going to try to establish the ground game. And
Yeah.
the stats behind this one really back it up here.
Is that
Second
a
pick, Gabe
is
Blake.
that a home or away game for the Jaguars?
I believe it is away. I believe it's at Colts.
Yeah, that's tough too. Another divisional game on the road. That'll be tough for a team like that, especially with such high expectations for them heading into the season.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So for my second pick, I'm going to go to my favorite game line. I have the Ravens -10 versus the Texans, and that's at -110 on FanDuel. So the Ravens are 10-2 all time against the Texans, which is, pretty dominating. I can't remember the last time the Texans have actually beat the Ravens. But also the Ravens are at home, and as being Steelers fan and Steelers playing there every year, like that is a hard place to win. Not many teams can do it. Another thing is the Texans, obviously they drafted CJ Stroud in the first round this previous year. And I feel like usually week ones for rookie quarterbacks on the road, it's not an ideal situation. I think CJ Stroud has potential to be a great quarterback in the league, but up in Baltimore against a pretty solid defense, in my opinion, I don't see it going too well for him. And then the Ravens have won 6 of their past 7 week 1 games, so they usually start off pretty hot.
Yeah, I think that's a great point you made too. That I kind of want to bring back is like they're facing rookie CJ Stroud, the rookies in their first game. I mean, we love CJ personally. I do a lot, but I don't see it going well for him, especially week 1 and against the Ravens. That's a really tall task at Ravens. I give him about a 3, maybe 5% chance that I'm being generous.
Yeah.
And I love you, CJ. I love you, man. But I mean, that's just an insane tall task.
He's watching this. He's going to prove me wrong. He's watching this
He's
video,
just going to call us out. Sorry, Stroud. I'm sorry, man. My game pick here for this week, I'm going Commanders versus the Cardinals. It's at Commanders. Commanders -7. I don't really know what much to say. It's the Cardinals. Next pick. No, I'm just kidding. I got more for that.
Okay, I was about to say.
No, I'm kidding. So the Cardinals, I mean, they're essentially tanking. They have a quarterback that is they had Colt McCoy all preseason, all throughout the entire preseason. A week before, or I think it was like after preseason week 3, they just cut him and then traded for Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't tell me, guys, you know what? Fuck that Colt McCoy guy. I know we had him all preseason, and he's the longest tenured quarterback we've had. Fuck him. Get him out of here. Let's trade for a new guy. Yeah. We've had him on the team for a week. Yeah, send him out there to start. He's got it. It's just.
I love it, man.
It's bad.
I mean, Colt McCoy, like he's got to be what high 30s now. What year is he drafted? Like
he's old. He's definitely old.
But I mean, yeah. He's you know who he is. Like he's pretty dog shit in my opinion. But hey, good for Josh Dobbs. He was a Steeler for a long time, so you love to see that. He's in another shitty situation, but what are you gonna do? So
yeah, I mean, I do feel bad for Josh Dobbs because I feel like every opportunity he gets, it's just like, and then like we said earlier, a really tall task. Like last year, he started for the Titans when Tannehill went down, and against the Jags in a must-win game. I mean, come on, what do you want him to do?
Yeah,
for a week.
He had a bunch of friggin' crumb bums blocking up.
Yeah,
he's getting killed back there.
And I think that's exactly what's going to happen here, except he doesn't have the defense to help keep the game close. I kind of have some faith going on with the Commanders. They had a pretty good preseason, and I'm a San Howell believer going forward.
Okay.
The defense for the Commanders is still pretty decent. Chase Young's coming up on a contract year. He's got a lot to prove. And I know just the defensive front they have is I can't the names are blanking on me here, but they have a really strong defensive front. And I think they're gonna make unfortunately, sorry, Dobbs, I think you're gonna have a really tough Sunday, buddy.
Is Chase Young, is he healthy?
He is
Is he
healthy.
playing?
He is playing. I didn't forget to mention, so like I said, my pick was Commanders -7. I grabbed that at -105 on Barstool. Not 100% sure if I mentioned this earlier. We're week one. My Lawrence pick was -110 on Bet365.
Okay. All right. So for my third pick, this is usually our wild card pick. It's our plus money pick, whatever you want to call it. So I have Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown at plus 115. His volume of carries last year speaks for itself. He's going to get the ball. They're going to feed him. Um, Also, they have Jimmy G as their quarterback. And if you can recall back to his 49ers days, whenever he's a quarterback, he's not slinging the ball back there. They're running the ball, through the line, through the guards and stuff. So in his last 7 games against the Broncos, he has 9 rushing touchdowns. And I mean that's a lot for a division rival, especially the Broncos, where usually they have a strong defense, but the past couple of years they've kind of been a little bit of a joke. Um, and then I didn't take this pick, but I like it a lot. Josh Jacobs to have 2+ touchdowns, and that's also at plus 600 on FanDuel. And out of having those 9 touchdowns in 7 games, he scored twice in a game, 4 times against the Broncos in his career. So basically half the time he's played the Broncos, he's had 2 touchdowns, which, I think for that being plus 600, throw a unit on that of like $10. You can win some pretty good money on that bet if you're willing to take the risk. So I think I'm going to throw some money on that too. But my official bet will be for him to have just an anytime touchdown. So yeah.
I I'm really surprised that's plus money still, knowing it's Josh
Mhm.
Jacobs and the stat you just gave there. Like you said, he's had 2 touchdowns. What do you say, 4 of 7 games he's played against the Broncos? That's
Um,
ridiculous.
yeah, 4 7 games.
That's ridiculous, especially for plus 600. I feel like I got to sprinkle on that, you know?
Yeah.
Um, Last pick here. I know Blake touched on it a little bit earlier about the Steelers and Kenny Pickett. And I don't like to be I don't like to be a homer a lot, but I'm going Steelers money line against the 49ers. I grabbed this at plus 120 on DraftKings. I, no Kittle is what I'm hearing from the ground here.
Yeah.
He's very doubtful from what I'm hearing. Bosa, again, he signed the contract today. Today is Wednesday. I would expect he would play because he's probably their best defensive player, but
Yeah.
the amount of snaps he's going to see, I would say that's probably up in the air. He's definitely not going to be playing 100% like he normally would. The Steelers were the best team in the preseason. I know that's probably I don't want to say that's bias, but like I feel like it's almost a fact. They just Kenny Pickett was absolutely on fire. I think he missed like 1 pass all preseason.
Yeah.
They just looked absolutely on fire, man. Steelers are back to fully healthy. TJ Watt's going to be out there. Got a good defensive line, and we're at home. Purdy coming off a tough injury with that arm. I expect him to be a little bit rusty, and I expect this to be a pretty darn low scoring game. I think the over under is at like 40, 43 or something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Some small.
I'm definitely going like a 21-17 Steelers win here. Maybe 24-17, if you will.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah, it's
I know
fair. I
you're a
mean,
big fan of that pick.
yeah, I mean, I was thinking about grabbing that, but once I heard you had it, so I'll just I'll let you have it, and then I'll speak my opinion on it. I think honestly, I think the Steelers, I think they beat the brakes off 49ers. And this is coming from a biased Steelers fan. But
Wow.
I mean, I feel like the 49ers are in a great spot right now, especially with Kittle probably won't play. Nick Bosa running DPOY. Who knows how much he's going to play, like I said earlier in my first pick. But it'll be over at Acrisure. I'll be there. Stadium's going to be rocking. So it's a tough place to play when it's like that.
Are you going to the game?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. How much for tickets?
I don't know, my man UC's hooking me up, Uncle Craig. Shout out
Hey,
Uncle
shout out
Craig.
Uncle Craig. Shout out Uncle Craig. That wraps it up for our total of 6 picks this week. Again, I hope all of you are as excited as we are for the NFL season to come back. I treat this weekend as a holiday for me. I'm so excited.
So okay,
And
so it's currently Wednesday night. By the time this is posted, the Thursday night game will probably be over. Do you have a prediction for tomorrow, Gabe, that we can look back on?
absolutely. Well, I can't wait to be proven wrong here in about 26 hours, 27 hours here. It's 8:30 here Wednesday night. I'm going Chiefs win close at half. They pull away and win by 14 second half.
14. Wow. You think they what's the line at right now? Minus five, six?
-4.5 to -5.5. It's ranging.
Okay. Yeah, I have a hard time picking against the Chiefs at Arrowhead. I mean, you got Patty Mahomes there. The Chiefs are really good in September under Andy Reid. So I'm also
Mhm.
going to pick the Chiefs. Just money line. I think they get it done. I think they continue where they started. I mean, ended last year and beat the Lions. So
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are trying to take Lions, and I feel like it's one of those when you just don't want to overthink it. It's
yeah.
Chiefs at home with they're hanging a Super Bowl banner. I just don't
Hmm.
see the Lions coming in and knocking them off.
Yeah. Nope. I definitely agree with that. So,
All right, that'll do it for us for week one. Hopefully, we don't suck this week. I kind of hope that every week. But yeah, we'll see you next week for a recap, and we'll see you for week two. Good luck on all your bets.